Hey everybody, it's Chad here. Well, we're towards the second half of May, towards the end of May, and figured I'd do another walk around garden tour. I didn't want to at first because the roses are out of bloom and all, but there's a lot of other stuff happening, so let's do this. You'll see here screaming in the background. Kids are at the water screaming. So this is our Japanese maple. You'll notice it's a different, slightly different color, a darker color than it was in the first video in April. So leaves are out and everything's fresh. But a little bit darker now. It's changing slowly into green. We have here our rose bushes that have been recently cut back, and you already see lots of new growth on those. Show you what I mean. This is why you have to cut these back, because look at that. In just a few short days since the last video of me trimming these, they've already shot up about a foot. Here we are. And if you can see those crepe murders that we did, the crepe murder is now showing life. So we've got some heavy rain yesterday, and this is kind of flopping, but it should fill mostly back out. Never know crepe myrtles when heavy rain, but yep, gonna have blooms on those in a few more weeks. Once again, just new growth on all these. We're not going to spend a lot of time on them. These are drift roses and knockout rose trees. Look at this. There used to be a griffin here. Now, all the purple growth has come right up. Still hadn't cut that lower petal back. I keep saying I was going to do it in the last video probably. It's finished flowering definitely. Need to cut that back and get some more sun over there. Maybe it's some kind of like ginger or something. I don't know. But I've never cut it back. It just keeps coming back. So, all right. Right over here, once again, there's lots of full nice growth. I like that purple right there, actually, kind of right here along the border. Still haven't moved these, but they did get a few blooms on them. So, and the rain of course messed it up, but got just a little bit of this lavender crush trying to come back. Most of it is not, however. Show you one more. So it's very pretty when it's actually coming out, but just a lot of dieback on these. All right, so let's get into the flower bed. Look at all this new growth on this drift rose that we cut just a few days back. Wow, awesome. Those guys have a little bit more room to breathe. Hopefully they'll fill out a little bit. And look at these petunia border we put right here on the walkway in front of the roses. I think by next year these roses, if I want them to, will take over this, but I mean, it just makes a wall. Fertilize these once a week with all the other annuals. This rose is really doing nice. Julie Andrews, I believe. But it's put on quite a bit of new growth. And look at the knockouts over there. I mean, you got those I didn't cut last time. They are now doubled in size, and we've got some brand new growth that are almost matching it. So awesome. It's not nice and healthy. This is probably one thing, these yellow super bells, they've just kind of got smushed around. They almost died out from the sun hitting them, because what I did was I pulled it out from under there to give it a little more. It grew kind of spindly a little bit because it was looking for sun. So once it got exposed a little more, I think it couldn't handle that quick transition. But all the super bean around the edge is doing great. I might actually pull up and put some different stuff here. And look at these super petunias. My goodness. Time to trim them, actually. I'm going to trim them all the way around the corners, so that'll probably get this last little part here in the top to fill out. Still got those. Once again, those get beat up by rain last night, that heavy rain yesterday, so they're not looking the best. These are impatiens and doing really, really well. Looking forward to their next flush. Okay, here's the big probably differences here as far as growth. We've got our limelight hydrangeas, which are not in bloom yet. They're not producing anything quite yet, but any time in the next couple of weeks they should start showing signs of putting those blooms on it. But look how tall they are. We're going to move this very, very soon before those blooms come out, so I can just kind of pick it up out of the way. Move this rose bush more than likely completely. Foxglove's doing great except for the one that got hit, and these are all very pretty. Once again, hanging down just a little bit from the rain, but need to trim that one up over there. Now this here is our evening primroses. They're actually probably within a couple more weeks of them starting to have blooms on them. looking forward to that. They open up so cool when they open, all in the evening, one after the other. Sometimes in about 30 seconds, you'll have one open up and then another one, then another one. So since the last time, we actually have some cone flowers. They're all about to bust out in bloom. This is the rose we're gonna dig up right here. And also Don Juan, we're gonna put him somewhere different. I don't know where. And I'm gonna put David Alster rose right here. Move the wizard over just a little bit, put it right here out in the open. This is exciting. This hydrangea is just starting to bloom. And the rain didn't hurt it at all because it was just not really opened up all the way. So cannot wait a few more days. And this thing is going to be absolutely amazing. I think we got some pink and some blues coming out in different spots on that. And then there's our drift roses. All got a few flowers on them, but they're all growing back, got some new growth. All right, let's go around to the backyard. That's where quite a bit of things have bloomed out since the last time. Oh, by the way, got to go through up under there and cut out some of those vines that are trying to come through. All right, backyard. All right, I'm redoing this back part here a little bit later in the day. My kids, as you can see from all the bathing suits and towels, are out of the water, and it's a little bit more quiet out here and nice and relaxing. Have our creeping Jenny in that one with the statue doing nicely. Now it did rain, as I said, yesterday really hard, so some of these are a little bit beat up, but we got our super petunias and super bills really doing great here. Probably should just planted one color in some of these because they just took over. Look, this one I thought was all white, but actually, look at those super bills right down there at the very bottom. Doing great though. Water every day, fertilize once a week. Suncredibles are just starting to bloom and they're getting so much taller. If you saw that video where we planted those. Got 3, and there's Molly the Collie. Hey Molly Collie, how you doing? And then right here, got one of our 2 angel trumpets. There's the second angel trumpet. New dawn climbing rose over there, and a couple baskets. We'll do some close-ups on those. Let's turn slowly here. Hanging basket of super bells, proven winners. Doing great. Hear all those birds just talking. This is another one that has a super bells in the middle, but these bubblegum super petunia visas just take over. These things are actually recovering. I was worried about these petite knockout roses. We got some super petunias in there with them. They were the ones who fell over in the old containers, and it's been had a pretty rough early spring and winter. Some more. Once again, on one side I just had some extra, so I'll put them in there, but see them coming through a little bit, but everywhere else, awesome double, whatever you call it, double bloom petunias, I guess. And look at this, cut this thing back and started fertilizing, and it's going crazy. We're gonna have a lot of those angel trumpet vines. And these petunias down there came back from last year. Who would have thought? And another video very soon, we're gonna be cutting back, cleaning up this new dawn climbing rose, which the rain kind of beat all the petals off. So it's a great time to do this and kind of get it a little bit under control, because it is really going crazy. I actually blew the deck off, but some of that stuff I'm gonna have to sweep off because it's stuck to the ground from the water. Man, I love that fairy. All right, looking down onto the bird baskets and hanging baskets here. They're doing great, except our super petunias have come over and found their way into the bird cage, so they're taking over these super bills that were in there. The other one doing really good over there. We'll get a ground shot later. We'll go down there in a moment. All right, now we're coming down to the massive Miss Molly butterfly bush. I didn't cut these back. I mean, they weren't nearly this tall. They were half that height, maybe less than half that height, but they have spurted up and just have Lots and lots of blooms coming out. Just starting to get a few butterflies on here as well. So new dome back there. Miss Molly right here. And then we've got the dwarf Pugster series right here. I think these are Pugster blue or purple, one or the other. All of the drift roses have had their first flush, and they've got a few still on them. And these Homestead Verbena, purple Homestead Verbena, are also kind of being done with their first flush. So we'll get some more on there pretty soon. That really looks pretty though. And with all the butterflies pretty soon to be out here flying around, be awesome. Still got some blooms coming out on these drift roses. Look at that. That's a massive amount of blooms. So we are just coming around here. Same thing. All this is all sweet drift. This is the matching Miss Molly on the other side. So you see the last garden tour we took, I think most of this stuff was in bloom as far as the roses. Now they're kind of going into growth mode, and this is where the deer have been nibbling. If you saw the last video we did, just on the edges of these roses, we've got this nice contrast right here, right in here, and these got eaten down to the ground. They've actually started coming back out, so that was nice. And then we got our white wedding hydrangeas, which the deer have nibbled on a little bit, but not much. We're usually, by the time they get there, the cameras have got them, and we're letting the dogs out to chase them out the yard. These three right here were from the containers that the Suncredibles are in. This one over here is a year older, so it's a little taller. These two are smaller. These are Pugster series. And then we've got two of the bigger ones back here. You can't see the one that's back there with that. But that's not Miss Molly. It's a different one, Miss Violet, I think. It's going to get tall like Miss Molly, so have some tall in the middle. These guys are looking great. Once again, these all kind of got nibbled on just a little bit, so we're gonna trim them back just a little, and they'll be fine. Stinking deer. Now this white wedding, the deer have gotten to this one a little bit more for some reason, even though there is a camera right there. For some reason, by the time it notifies me, just you know, they already have jumped up here and took a few bites before we get the dogs out here after them. And evidently, I don't know. They're tasting that deer repellent, but I think, like I said, if they're hungry, they're going to eat it. Lantana, just getting going. Deer do not usually mess with this too much. So it's going to be nice and yellow. And then our daylilies, I cannot believe these daylilies are still here. That's just because of that camera warning us about it and being able to chase off the deer and stuff. So I fully did not expect any of these to make it this year because I thought the deer would just keep them down on the ground, but they didn't. Some more lantana, different variety. This is the color stuff. I thought this all died back because not all of it around here is perennial, depending on the temperatures, but it did okay. It all came back. Forsythia right here with our gnomes. And then we got our St. John worts, our creeping Jenny over there on the ground. Hadn't really done much. Might be too bright now that we've cut some trees down, so might be a little bit too much sun for them. I don't know. St. John worts, love these little flowers right there. So cool looking. And then the smell, oh my goodness, the gardenias are starting to bloom, and it smells so good. Matter of fact, I believe that Gigi came over and cut one and took it home just to fill her house with that smell. Still haven't done much in the back of this container. We've got the fronts going good, and patience and all is going good. This is actually growing back. All the originals just flopped over and did not do great at all. And now it's kind of growing back up, and we got stuff coming from the sides out of here. But got to put some stuff in the back there just to add some height to it, some fullness in the back. Last year, a lot of the stuff kind of got taken over, but like I said, it hasn't went crazy. I really expected this to go crazy, and it's kind of restarted itself. Anyway, those look amazing. And love these. They just glow in the dark. So Sunshine Ligustrum, Wigelia, or however you say that. The deer have also nibbled on this, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get hardly any blooms, which is very sad because I really wanted to see those little red flowers, or kind of purplishy flowers. the tub, doing good. The lilies have all kind of finished up, so I probably should have got some kind of tall annual or something to go out there if I wanted constant blooms, but look good for a while. And all these are doing really well, filling out nicely. And then we'll come over and see this side of the hanging baskets. This turned out really good, just a simple little bird cage from Hobby Lobby. And you can get them when they're on sale, and then just put a little bit of dirt and stuff in there. Got a video on that, how we did that, and it's filled out nicely. Oop, just got a mosquito, blew it off of me, so it's mosquito season here now. Fun times. All right, well, I'm glad I came back out here. It's a lot quieter without kids screaming and stuff out in the water. And it's evening, sun setting, birds chirping. Doesn't get more relaxing than that. So, what an interesting time in the garden. It's always changing. You have, all the roses are now kind of rebuilding. However, got all the clothes up there, that's funny. But you've got all that rebuilding, but you've got the daylilies going, all the annuals are going crazy, the butterfly bushes are now starting to bloom, and we're looking forward to having more butterflies themselves. It's always changing in the garden. That's why you want to plant a variety of stuff. Awesome, awesome. All right, I'm going to turn this around as we close this out and look at the water. Few blooms left up there. Hard to beat that view, especially in the evenings when the water is so smooth. Great time to ride a boat out there when it's smooth. If the sun's out, go skiing right now. But wow, what an awesome, awesome view. All right, well, if you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, share it with your friends, and I'm gonna wait about 10 more seconds in silence right here just so you can see and hear the animals.